Hey everybody, it's Jennifer Atherton, and let's see what it looks like to buy a home. Share my screen here. Home buying process. First time home buying webinar. It was supposed to be June 24th. I've gotten really busy, so I'm going to do it today. These are some other webinars that I will be doing. I may try to post it before these dates. So we're going over the basic process today. We're going to go over writing offers. Once your offer is accepted, then what? Repairs and negotiations, appraisals and loans, closing and signing. A really fun one is going to be Feng Shui, and then selling your home. This is the list. About me, I've closed over $3 million in sales since August of 2020. I was working for the city of Sacramento and I got let go, and this is hit the ground running. I love helping people find homes and sell their homes. I've also interviewed investors and spoke at the Real Estate Roundtable here in Sacramento. I live in Sacramento. I have 2 cats, and for fun, I like to read. So this needs to be updated, but 2,240,000 pending and sold in 2021. Here's all my information. I work in Sacramento. I'm in contract right now in Antioch, gone out to Placerville, pretty much anywhere in this central California region. If you know anyone that's looking to buy or sell real estate in Sacramento and surrounding areas, please let me know. I could do pretty much everywhere in California. I have listings in Clear Lake right now, land listings. So let's go over what we're going to talk about today. How to get pre-approved and what kind of loans you can get. How do we search for homes and how we write offers. I'm really going to go into detail on that July 29th. Counter offers and acceptance, EMD, escrow and disclosures, home, termite and roof inspections, repairs and negotiations, appraisals and loans, closing and signing, and selling your home. I'm going to go over a lot of basics on this. So when is the best time to buy a home? I know we're all trying to time the market, but the real answer is when you're ready. Oops. Whoa. And here's my entire presentation. I'm going to go backwards. Markets go up and markets go down. Prices go up, interest rates go down, and prices go down and interest rates go up. That's the cycle. I want you to love the home and the payment. So it doesn't really matter what the market's doing. It's when you're ready to commit to a home and commit to this monthly payment. So getting pre-approved, I will connect you with a mortgage loan officer. I am in the process of getting my own mortgage license. But if I have to hand you off, I will. You'll need to fill out an application with all your information, with your pay stubs, your W-2, your tax info, your bank info. We're gonna have to run a credit report. The better your credit is, the cheaper money is. The richer you are, the cheaper everything is. We can help you with your credit report as well. And your driver's license, we have to make sure it's you. And then you'll get a pre-approval amount and a loan type. So this process takes a while. It depends if you have all this information ready. It will take shorter, and if you need to get together, it will take longer. So just making sure you got your pay stubs for your last 2 pay stubs, and your tax info last 2 years, your recent bank statement, and your driver's license. So here are the type of loans that you can do for real estate. Number 1 is no loan, all cash. Need proof of funds. People do ask me, can you buy homes in all cash? Of course you can. You can buy anything all cash, and definitely homes. And I kind of put them in order of preference for the sellers. Everybody wants an all cash offer. Yeah, cash is king. Number 2 is conventional. You will need a higher down payment, and you will need a credit score. That's what CS means, of 620 plus, and DTI is debt to income. So how much income you have coming in versus the debt. that you carry needs to be 50%. Number 3 is FHA. So you can do 10% down payment or, oh, I didn't talk about that. Okay, so the first option is 10% down payment and a credit score of 500 to 579, or a 3.5% down payment with a credit score of 580 plus. Those are your 2 options for FHA. Now, most people will take cash and conventional over FHA just because they have to go, they're gonna make sure, you can't really buy like a fixer-upper with an FHA. They wanna make sure people actually get into really good homes, even if they have a lower credit score. BA means that you are a veteran, and if you were, what do they call it? When you leave the military honorably, as long as you didn't have like a dischargement, a non-honorable dischargement. If you have an honorable dischargement, you can get a VA loan, and it's 0% down, no PMI, which is mortgage insurance, private mortgage insurance, and your credit score is just okay. So they really help out veterans here in getting homes. You do have to pay one initial fee up front, but it's 0% down. So great. USDA is rural property. There's also a couple of different guidelines where it has to be less than 25 acres and it's in certain parts. So, you know, they want to help people out in rural areas, especially in California. And you can get a really great loan if you want to live out in a rural area where there's less resources. And then hard money. Why it's called hard money is because it's hard on your wallet. It means it's high interest rate. And it's usually like a short-term loan when you're flipping a house, which means you're buying a house, you're remodeling it, and then you're selling it. And you can get hard money, which is very expensive, but it's a short-term. Costs of doing business. Okay, so the term reviews, proof of funds, POF, just your bank statement. If you are buying a house in cash, that's all they need, is your proof of funds, which is a bank statement. DP is a down payment, and that's the initial payment when something is bought with credit. CS is a credit score. If you want the best rates, get your credit up to 740. Money will be really, really cheap for you. So whatever you got to do to get it up to 740, that's my recommendation. DTI is debt to income. FHA means the Federal Housing Administration. VA means Veterans Affairs, and flipping is when you buy a home, fixing it, and selling it. Note, it will not go FHA for 90 days. So if you're thinking about flipping a home, then you put it on the market, you can't get FHA loans for the first 90 days because they're protecting the FHA buyers. When we do find your price point, I will set you up on an email. So this is just an example. This is like a home that came on the market in Elk Grove, California, 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,151 square feet. This is the listing price. It's residential, it's single family. Here's the address, here's the MLS number. And it was on the market for 16 days and something happened, now it's starting over. But it's usually 1-to-1. And then if you want to view it, you can view it here, get some more details and more pictures, and we can schedule to go see it. And you'll get emails like this for the houses that you're searching for. Writing up the offer. I'm just gonna, July 29th. So if we find a house you like maybe that one in Elk Grove, 8540 Narcissus Court. So we got to decide the offer price because it's listed for $583, but right now everything's going over asking. So how much can we offer? And if they counter offer, which means if they get a lot of offers and then they counter a bunch of people, how high can we go? EMD is the initial money deposit. So once we do get into contract, you have 3 days. So it's usually 1% of the purchase price. So if we did 600,000, it'd be 6,000. How many days to close? Can we do it in 30? Can we do it in 21? If it's a cash offer, I've seen 5-day closes. That's a conversation you have to have. Down payment, how much of the down payment can you put down? And that's separate from EMD. What is the loan amount? Who is going to pay for the escrow fees? So you don't just say, hey, we want to buy 854 or 40 I want to say Narcissus Court. It's not like, oh, here's $600,000, here's the keys. We put it in a third party, which is escrow. And that's where we make sure all the documentation goes, and, you know, so they're talking about more than $500,000 on the table here. So we have a third party and they're going to record it. And then once it gets recorded and all the payments and everything are gone through and all the paperwork, once it's recorded, then I can give you the keys. And you have an escrow officer that we work with that handles all of that. And that's a fee as well. What kind of contingencies do you want to write up in the offer? Excuse me. There's 3: appraisal contingency, inspection contingency, and a loan contingency. So appraisal contingency, which a lot of people are waiving right now, is if the house doesn't appraise for what it's worth. So let's take 8540. If it doesn't appraise for 600,000, which means they will not write a loan amount of 600,000, can you cover the difference? And if you waive that appraisal fee, you say, yes, I have the money to cover the difference because it's going to have to come out of your pocket. And if we keep the appraisal contingency, that means if it doesn't appraise at 600,000 and we have a third party go out and make sure that the house is worth 600,000, and if it says, okay, it's actually worth 590, if you put in the appraisal contingency in the offer, then that means that, okay, I'll cover the 10,000. But if you don't, and it's just a little checkbox in the offer, and if you don't, that means that you can negotiate that 10,000. Right now, sellers aren't negotiating that 10,000, and they most likely will not accept your offer if you have an appraisal contingency. Home inspection contingency is number 2. So that means if you waive it, which my offers that are getting accepted, that's what we're doing right now. That means that when we inspect the home and I inspect the roof, the entire interior and exterior, and then a termite inspection. So there's 3 inspections. If something is really wrong with the home, say you got really bad termite damage, foundation issue, roof issue, if you waive the home inspection, then you're not going to negotiate that with the seller. But if you don't waive it, that means you can negotiate it with the seller. The seller does not have to fix any repairs. So if it is contingent on home inspection, termite, and roof, then you guys can negotiate. And they say, hey, no, I'm not going to fix it. And you say, okay, well then it's not worth it, and you can back out of the deal and get your deposit back. There's deadlines for everything too. It depends how many days to close. And it's in the contract as well. So, and then the third contingency is loan. So it's usually at the end, you can say, this offer is contingent on my loan going through. And it takes a while for them to process. Yes, you give them all the information. They got to verify your employer. They got to do a bunch of other stuff during the process. So they're making sure that your loan goes through. If your loan doesn't go through, or if the rate changes, you know, that contingency. If you say no contingency, that means I'm going to do this loan no matter what, even if I have to pay up front for the appraisal and stuff. If you say it is contingent on the loan, means I have to make sure that my loan goes through for this deal to go through. And for usually, I'm making sure that we have a loan contingency on deals. I want to make sure that loan goes through. I want to make sure that, you know, all the money's good. Because if the money's not good, the deal's not going to go through. NHD is a natural hazard disclosure. We run that report to make sure that, you know, you're not in a flood zone. If you are, you got to get insurance. That's really in Sacramento, kind of more of the Bay Area, it's always earthquake. And just seeing what natural hazards are there. And you need to get a home warranty, 1 year home warranty. So if anything breaks in the house, your warranty they'll come out, you pay like $75, and then they'll come fix it. Air conditioner, you have a pool, heater, sink, stuff like that. Another seminar we're going to do is when the offer is accepted. And I'll go into a whole thing of this, but right now we'll just go over what you need to know. EMD, once your offer is accepted, because you're working with me and we know how to get your offer accepted, your earnest money deposit is due in 3 days. If you do not put your 1% or whatever you decide to do, $10,000 is a really nice amount too. If you don't do that in the first 3 days, and then the offer is void. Got to put your money where your mouth is. We have to open escrow. That's pretty much how you open escrow. And it's part 10 in the contract. And that's how people know we're in it to win it. So you put your 1% in escrow. We order the inspections. We order the appraisal. We order home insurance. Right now, some sellers need rent back, and that just means they need to live in the home until they find a replacement home, and sometimes it goes past the 30 days or whatever, 21 days, 30 days that we're in contract. And so they're going to be your tenants after you close, and sometimes they pay the rent, sometimes you pay the mortgage, sometimes you pay the mortgage. That's something that we'll have to put in the offer. Right now, the market is so hot that the buyers, I have a buyer that's paying like three months of rent back. They want the house. It's a nice house. The market's hot. Contingencies, we did go over that before. We have, what are they? Do you remember? Appraisal contingency, home inspection contingency, and loan contingency. NHD is the natural hazard disclosure, which we will have to order, get the home warranty, and then, you know, putting your utilities in your name and getting that all transferred over. We'll go over this way more August 26th. Oops, I think I went past one. Repairs and negotiations. So once we get the termite, roof, and home inspection, I'm going to help you read the reports and kind of let you know what we have to negotiate. Request for repairs is negotiation. It's a form we're going to fill out. We're going to request what we want to repair. If it's non-contingent, then we're not, but I'm just going to let you know what needs to happen on the house, and that's on you. So it depends. Every deal is different. That's why it's really good to work with a professional. And then they're going to respond to the request for repairs. And when they do, I want to, you know, are they working with contractors, and are we getting receipts? Because that's what I want to see. We'll do a whole deep webinar on that. Appraisals and loans. So this is usually kind of at the end of the deal. What is an appraisal and how does that work? It's pretty much, they look at the value of the homes in the neighborhood that are selling that are similar in square footage and rooms. And that's how they know how much money to loan you for the home. If you're paying cash, you can get an appraisal, but you don't need it because you're not getting a loan. How to schedule an appraisal, the loan officer will do that. Talking about the appraisal contingency makes people nervous. What not to say to an appraiser, like I can't bribe them. I can't tell them, oh, like this house. I can suggest, that's what we're gonna do for this deal in Antioch. I'm gonna print out some papers and suggest, but I can't give them money. I can't take them out to dinner. You know, you can't, there's so many regulations now. You can't do that because it's got to be a fair evaluation for the loan. That's how 2008 kind of was part of it. And how to read the appraisal report and see what comparables they used and kind of like what dates they used, because you can't use something from a year ago. A year ago, it was a really different scene than today. So Has to be within like the last 3 months, really. And you can negotiate after an appraisal. That's a whole thing too. You can kind of show them other houses and stuff. And, you know, if the appraisal doesn't come in, do you want that off of the purchase price, or do you want that for repairs, or, you know, how do you want to kind of negotiate the appraisal if you have that written in the offer that you can do that? Closing and signing. What is a CD? That is a closing disclosure. That's what you'll get when your loan goes through, and then you have 3 days right of rescission, which means at the end, if you don't want to go through the deal, you can back out, but you won't get your deposit back. CTC is clear to close, which means we're all good and we're ready to go. A mobile notary means that you don't have to come to my office to sign. A mobile notary will come to you at your work, at your house, wherever you want, coffee shop. The time frames of the close are really important, and we need to go over that. Writing checks and reading the closing statement. What to even expect when closing, especially if you're new, you know, how does it all work? And closing out the escrow account, something we'll go over January 27th. Oh, that should be 2022. Feng Shui webinar. This is kind of, I don't know, I feel energy, and like if it has to be really good energy, if I'm selling you the house and really like fits the person, I'm gonna look at street signs. It's lucky if the street signs are green versus white. I can even look at what direction the house is facing for the sun and for superstition. The kitchen can't have the sink and the oven, you know, next to each other, because water and fire tune each other out. The bathroom, make sure that none of the rooms have the toilet on the other side of the wall to one of the rooms. If there's any waterfalls or fountains, all water should be running towards the house, not away from it. And fruit trees, if there are lemon trees, that's very auspicious. So that will be really fun to go through, but those are some basics. And just feeling the energy of the house. You can't change a bad layout, I would say that. And so the flow of the house is really important. Selling your home. So you kind of want to wait 2 years, you'll have to pay capital gains tax. But we'll talk about when you're ready to list your home and go over the listing agreement. Who pays for pictures, and should you get professional pictures or just do it on your iPhone? What kind of disclosures you have to go over when you're selling your home, how to review offers. Rent back, which I talked about before, is do you need to stay in the home until you find another home? Or if you're building a new home, you know, sometimes you sell your home so you have the money to pay for your new home. And it's just, do you need to rent back your home until you move into your new one? When's the best time to do showings, and how to get the most money for your home? Something we're going to be going over March 30th. Okay, so let's just go over it again. What did we learn today? How to get pre-approved and what kind of loans are available. How we search for homes, and then we see homes and write offers. And I'm going to go a little bit more into detail on that July 29th. I'm going to pull up the offer and we're going to write an offer together on a home. So you can really know what to expect and see what's going on. Counter offers and acceptance. I'll write up some counter offers and like, oh, how do we even do counter offers, and you know what happens after they accept our offer? Now what? EMD, escrow, and disclosures. Earnest money deposit is the initial deposit you make to open escrow, which is a third-party account, and who handles everything between, well, they handle all the paperwork and the money between the buyers and sellers, and going over disclosures. Home termite roof inspections, go over all that. Repairs and negotiation, I'm going to go into detail on that September 30th. Appraisal and loans, October and 28th. Closing and signing, January 27th, and selling your home, March 30th. Thank you. This webinar will be uploaded to YouTube, which I'm sure is where you're seeing it. and a link will be sent to your review in a couple days. So the next one we're going to have is writing up the offer in California. We're going over the offer price, EMD, days to close, down payment, loan amount, escrow freeze, escrow officer contingencies, natural hazard disclosure, and home warranty. And I'm actually going to pull up an offer and we're going to write it together. Okay. You or someone you know has any real estate questions, feel free to email me. See if we can just move that. Jennathertonhomes@gmail.com. Shoot me a text, call me. Happy to answer any questions. Happy to help you on your home journey here. I can help you buy it and sell homes anywhere in California, but I am located out of Sacramento. Cool. Hope you guys enjoy that. Let me know if you have any other questions. You can comment below. Happy to help, happy to help. And I hope you enjoyed this video.